My name is Andy, your entrepreneurial health coach. Welcome to the video. Okay, so you've heard it all before. If you were that serious about health, you would make time for it. But what if you've never had to do it before? What if you never made time for health before? How are you supposed to know what to do first? And more importantly, do you really want to add on another thing to your already busy schedule? Probably not. So today we're going to be running an order of what you should be doing so that you can create space in your day and so you can begin creating health in your life. Number one, the time audit. One of the first things, like in any new endeavor, is to find out where you currently are and what habits are present. This is where the time audit really comes into play. Now, what is a time audit? Think of it as a way to understand where all of your time is going. Now, some of you may be saying, Andy, I'm really good at my time, so why do I have to do this? Now, bear with me, it all makes sense. Everyone at some point believes that their time management is impeccable, it's amazing, and that there are no holes. But as soon as you begin monitoring and really tracking your time, all of a sudden, you really realize how much you're actually wasting or how much is spent doing things you could have done faster or prepared ahead of time for. So make sure you do this. Now, how do you do a time audit exactly? What are the right steps to take? Let's start with the basics. You're gonna pretty much record everything you do in a day. Now, the intervals I suggest are about every 30 minutes, meaning that every 30 minutes, make a quick note somewhere about what you've done in the last half hour doing this whole day from when you wake up and when you go to bed. Now, the other option you can use instead of every 30 minutes is to just write down the tasks you started and what time you did start them and when you completed them. This way, you're writing down the tasks rather than just the intervals of time. For the time audit, I would encourage a full 4 to 5 days of this before you move on to the next step, because truthfully, a lot can change in the span of a few days. You may even notice your time management become better just because you're actually paying attention to it. So all you have to do for step number one is record your task or your time. That's it. Now, word of caution or encouragement, I'm not too sure which, but it's going to apply anyway. If you're feeling apprehensive about this process, or if this makes you feel really uncomfortable, ask yourself why. I've been through this many times, and for most of the time, it's us not wanting to own up to the fact that maybe we haven't been as good with our time as we would have liked to. So ask yourself to challenge, and on this first step, see where your time is actually going. Number two, create an hour. Now you're probably wondering, what in the hell and how the hell do you create an hour? After looking at your time audit over the last 4 to 5 days and maybe how much time you wasted, where you spent and what could have been better, where did you find your energy start dipping? Were there any patterns? You might have already noticed a few things, like poor transition time between tasks, poor energy at certain times where you're just dragging your feet, or perhaps you're noticing you're just trying to do too much all at once. So your task in step 2 is to create an hour based on the time you've recorded. But again, how's that possible? Let's go through a few different strategies. Chunking. Do you notice certain tasks that you're doing on a daily basis? Something that isn't super important, but takes enough time out of your day to make it drag on just a little bit. For me, that was always social media. Look, I love social media, but if I had to create a new piece of content every day, I'd go crazy, like crazy. Good thing I don't actually do that. So what I actually do is chunk my time. So instead of spending 15 to 30 minutes every day just creating one post, I spend 1 to 2 hours every single week making 7 posts, freeing up my time on other days. Think of this as the same as meal prepping. If you're someone who is cooking their meals the day of, you're probably not only losing a lot of time, but you're probably also spending a lot of energy that could be spent on something else. Transition times. How often do you find yourself switching between tasks? And for some reason, the time between those tasks just seem to grow larger and larger. Simply, you just need a break and a transition. A lot of times we're playing multiple roles during the day, and as such, it takes time to step into that new role with new tasks and new responsibilities. So how do you shorten this? A few simple things. Step away from it. Do something else, even if it's just for a few minutes. Change your physical environment. Can you change your desk? Can you point in a new direction? Can you move to a different spot? Go for a walk. Step away and come back to it with a fresh mindset. It can help you think differently and bring a new energy to it. Finally, change your clothes. Your outfit forces you to step into an image, meaning you can step into this new person with new skills. It may seem all too simple, but reducing your transition time can be the difference between an extra hour in your day or simply dragging your feet for another hour. Pre-plan. How many things did you notice you can prepare ahead of time? I'll give you a quick example. I love coffee, probably more than the average person should. So to make it easier for myself to make that coffee and to save myself time in the morning, I lay out all of the things I need to make my coffee the night before. That includes things like the grinder, the beans, the pot to boil it, and even the filter. The key to this is remove thinking. You want to make it as much of a habit as possible for yourself and to make it as easy as possible. Other examples of this include laying your clothes out the night before, cleaning up your workspace at the end of the night, or even keeping your wallet, keys, and phone all in the same place so you don't have to go searching for them. Doubling. Now, this is one of my favorites. Can you double up on your time? Meaning, can you do 2 tasks at once that are able to be intertwined? Now, this isn't possible for everyone, but it does exist if you look hard enough. I love listening to podcasts or watching YouTube videos. It's just something I enjoy, but also something that teaches me. So I make it a priority whenever I'm preparing food or meal prepping. I throw on a video I've kept saved, maybe my history, or maybe I find a podcast that I'm meaning to listen to. Now, let's say you want to do the opposite. Maybe a pressure cooker or maybe even baking your food can be your best friend. So let's say you have to do some work. You just throw that shit into the pressure cooker or even the oven, set the timer, and then you come back when you're all done. Look, there's food ready for you. There's so many things you can do in order to double your time. You just have to be willing to finagle a little bit to find it. Now, after you've chunked time or doubled up on tasks and really created that hour for yourself, what do you do next for your health? Well, in step number 3, we're gonna do just that. Number 3, priority or fun. Now, after you create an additional hour for yourself, what do you do? And what can you do in order to start creating some momentum for your health? I would love to tell you just to work out in the hour, but that was the old me. Instead, why not choose something that will make you feel amazing or perhaps something you've been missing? I personally ask my clients to have fun first and foremost. It may not be what you expected, but if I had to be frank, a lot of us aren't having enough play during our day. So something such as video games, watching your favorite show, or even spending some time with loved ones is an amazing way to spend the hour. Now, why do I recommend fun over something like working out or something healthy? Because of all the time you spent tracking, chunking time together, and really beginning to understand your habits, the last thing you want is to throw something on that may seem like a chore. Your mental health, your freedom, and your creativity will help your health much more. And truthfully, if you're managing your time better now, your health is probably already better already, and that's just a bonus. We're looking to create habits for everyday life, and to be able to reward yourself with some fun after managing your time better, well, there's no better feeling. And chances are you've probably freed up more than just an hour every week. So have some fun first and worry about the work afterwards. So what do you think? Something you can try, or perhaps something you've never thought to do when it comes to health? Let me know. I understand sometimes that amongst your busy schedule, the thought of focusing on health can be very, very overwhelming. And as such, I hope this video has helped to give some inspiration so that you can take your health back. Thank you so much for watching this video. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and or share if you feel like this has helped you. My name is Andy, your entrepreneurial health coach, and I'll see you in the next video.